everyone, this is Emily from Grape Law Firm. We're a global immigration law firm and we primarily focus on US and UK immigration, working with professionals, founders, and employers who imagine beyond borders. In this video, I want to walk you through the L-1 visa, which is one of the most commonly used visas by multinational companies to expand to the United States. When someone wants to work in the US, there are many possible visa options, and the right one always depends on the individual and their circumstances. One of the reasons the L-1 visa is often preferred is that in certain cases, it can be faster than other work visas. It can also be a safer and more controlled entry point into the US market, especially if the company is opening a new branch or subsidiary in the United States. At its core, the L-1 visa is designed to transfer an employee's knowledge, experience, and leadership from a foreign company to its US affiliate. The person being transferred can be a manager or executive, and a company owner, or an employee with specialized knowledge that is critical to the business. To qualify, there must be two companies involved, one operating outside the United States and a related company operating inside the United States, either an existing company or a newly established one. As long as there is a qualifying relationship between these two companies, an intercompany transfer may be possible. So, what does a qualifying relationship actually mean? There are several ways this relationship can be established. One company may own the other, creating a parent-subsidiary relationship. Both companies may have the same ownership structure, or they may be controlled by the same individual or group. For example, if you own 51% of the foreign company and 80% of the US company, the companies can still be considered controlled by the same person, and the qualifying relationship would exist. Even when ownership percentages differ, an L-1 visa may still be possible if control can be shown through formal agreements that clearly give management authority to the same individual or group. Once the company relationship is established, the next critical factor is the employee's work history. The employee must have worked full-time for at least one continuous year within the past 3 years for the related foreign company. The role must be either managerial or executive, which falls under L-1A, or a specialized knowledge role, which falls under L-1B. When we talk about managers under US immigration law, there are two recognized types. The first is a personnel manager, someone who directly manages employees and has authority over hiring, firing, promotions, and day-to-day operations. Simply having the word manager in a job title is not enough. These responsibilities must be clearly documented. The second is a functional manager. Even if someone does not manage a large team, they may still qualify if they manage an essential function or department within the company. With the right documentation, this type of managerial role can also support an L-1 transfer. For specialized knowledge employees, the focus is on why that individual's expertise is uniquely important to the company's US operations. The company must show that this knowledge cannot be easily replaced by hiring someone locally, and that the employee's experience is specific to the company's products, services, or internal processes. If these requirements are met and the company relationship is properly established, coming to the US on an L-1 visa may be a viable option. Now let's talk about the US company side of things, especially when it comes to new office L-1 cases. There are two main scenarios. The first is when a foreign company is entering the US market for the first time and opening a new branch or subsidiary. One advantage of the new office L-1 is that you can apply before full operations are up and running, which allows you to come to the US to build the business. New office L-1 visas are initially granted for 1 year. This first year is largely based on trust in the foreign company's existing operations and the US business plan. At the end of that year, you must show that you've actually accomplished in the US to qualify for an extension. The purpose of this structure is to allow established foreign companies to test the US market with reduced risk. In the second scenario, where the US company is already active and the multinational structure is clearly established, longer initial approvals may be possible from the start. In terms of duration, the maximum stay depends on the category. For L-1A managers and executives, the maximum is 7 years. For L-1B specialized knowledge employees, The maximum is 5 years. Unlike some other visas, such as e-visas, the L-1 cannot be renewed indefinitely. Because of this, it's very important to plan your long-term strategy early, especially if you want to remain in the US permanently. For new office L-1 cases, 2 additional factors are especially important: the physical office and the financial capacity. The L-1 visa requires a real physical office in the US that is appropriate for the company's operations. For example, a cafe would need a suitable commercial space, while an office-based business might only need a small office. There is no fixed investment requirement like there is with the E-2 visa. However, the company must show that it had sufficient financial resources to carry out the US business plan. This can be demonstrated through the foreign company's financials or transferred capital or available bank funds. Importantly, the money does not need to be spent immediately. Showing availability is often enough. The L-1 visa process itself is petition-based. A petition is filed with USCIS, whether you're inside or outside of the United States. Once that petition is approved, you attend a consular interview to have the visa stamped. Processing times are typically around 4 to 5 months, but premium processing is available and reduces the USCIS review time to just 15 business days. If USCIS issues a request for evidence, the timeline may extend, but premium processing continues after the response. One major advantage of the L-1 visa is that it is a dual intent visa. This means that you can intend to stay in the US permanently, or you can intend to return home after your assignment. This is a significant advantage compared to tourist, student, or investor visas, which require proof of non-immigrant intent. The L-1 also offers strong family benefits. Your spouse and children under 21 can accompany you, and your spouse is eligible for open work authorization, meaning they can work anywhere in the US, and children can attend school. Changing employers on an L-1 visa is very difficult because the visa is tied to the qualifying relationship between companies. However, it may be possible to change to a different visa status while in the US, depending on your circumstances. One of the most attractive aspects of the L-1 visa is its transition to a green card, especially for L-1A managers and executives. The L-1A category aligns closely with the EB-1C multinational manager green card, and many L-1A holders pursue EB-1C either after entering the US on L-1 or even directly from abroad. While an L-1 approval does not guarantee a green card, it often significantly simplifies the process. Other green card options may also be available depending on your individual profile. To address a couple of common questions, the employee does not always need to be on payroll. Contract-based arrangements can sometimes qualify if the work history is properly documented, and if the foreign company shuts down entirely, the L-1 is affected. But if other foreign affiliates remain active, this visa may still be viable. To conclude, we've covered how the L-1 visa works, who qualifies, its advantages, and common scenarios. The best visa option always depends on the individual and the structure of the business, so professional guidance is strongly recommended. If the L-1 visa may be a good fit for you, we'd be happy to help. We also regularly share videos on US visas and green card strategies here on this channel. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you have questions we didn't cover, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.